So now we are set for a main event here on the PWA on Rogers TV. That was a tough act to follow, but we are going to do our best. You saw Jason's interview with both of the combatants in our main event. This should be something unlike we've ever seen here in the PWA. The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, taking on Mr. Ego, Ethan Page. Hasn't been around the PWA for 10 years, and now these two, who are tag team partners, are now our main event of the evening.
These are two guys that are going to beat their brains out of each other, or at least try to, but you know what? They're going to head home after this match and probably crack a few beverages open and recollect what happened. But you know what? Each of these individuals wants a W as desperately as the other. They put all friendships aside, and they're going to wrestle their hearts out here tonight in Guelph.
Not to oversell it, but the quality of wrestling you are about to see in this match may be unrivaled by anything we've seen on Rogers TV since we've been covering the PWA. So you see Mr. Ego, Ethan Page in the ring, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander on his way to the ring shortly. On a roll here, Dan, in the PWA. Arguably, you could say this guy might be the #1 contender for the Pure Wrestling Championship.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Eddie Osborne better look over his left shoulder because this guy is gunning for him, has had a lot of success as of late in the PWA, and looking to further solidify his position as, like you said, the #1 contender for the main belt.
So Josh Alexander getting set to make his way to the ring. There he is! And you kind of saw in Jason's interviews before the way these two talk about each other. There's no animosity there. These two are competitors. They are combatants. They want to put on a show for these people here in Guelph. They want to show what professional wrestling is all about. And once that bell goes, that's what we're about to see.
Absolutely. You're going to see A+ grade wrestling right here. They've been making waves across the indie circuit. PWA fans are going to be treated here in the Royal City.
Page and Alexander going through the pre-match formalities as we get set for our showcase main event of the evening here on the PWA on Rogers TV.
Can't wait for this one to get going.
Referee Joey Villari with the instructions to our main event combatants.
Friends turning into foes here for at least this next couple minutes.
And you have to wonder, while it's not technically something that's been promoted, a match of this caliber, is this something that Commissioner Michelle King coming out of this, does the victor actually put themselves in line for a championship match?
Well, fans are probably holding their breath right here. They're hoping probably for good news, depending on how this one goes, just to shake up the PWA circuit. He's certainly proven himself, hasn't he?
He sure has. Ethan Page decides he has declared he'd like to give his t-shirt to the ugly bald guy. Talk about how hot the crowd is here at the Red Chevron Club, chanting "This is awesome" before the match even starts in our showcase main event on Rogers TV. Sean Ferfaro alongside Dan Polischuk calling all the action for you here live.
It's been a pleasure as always. And we're going to get a heck of a nightcap right here.
It's no Carrot Cup, Dan, but it is a good night out in Guelph at the Red Chevron Club.
Well, frankly, nothing matches Carrot Cup.
You get that lifetime supply of Bradford carrots. There is nothing beyond comparison.
I heard they're harvesting them right now.
It's really sweaty. I'm so sorry, dude.
A walking weapon. You're at my heart. All right, we're set to go here. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander.
You knew I can't do any of that.
I know. I can do all of it. He can do a lot
match is set to get underway here. As they first lock up, Paige with the with the first headlock of the match, and Alexander. There's nothing like live wrestling, is there, Dan?
No, there certainly isn't. I think you got to break down exactly what was said between those two. They got you chuckling.
No, there's a. Let's
Let's
focus on the action.
Let's
in the
let it
ring.
lie then.
Josh Alexander trying to break out of this wrist lock. Paige has him in the wrist lock. Breaks it as soon as Alexander finds his way to the ropes.
Neither of these guys in a rush. They know it's 50-50 mental and physical in this matchup.
They know each other so well. There is a feeling out process in any match. There's even more of a process as we see a roll back. Down goes Paige. There's even more of a feeling out process, Dan, when you know the opponent so well, because there's so many levels of strategy that you're trying to think of what they think you're doing, as Alexander stomps on the elbow of Paige, and Paige rolls outside the ring for a breather.
Yeah, strategy plays so much more of a factor in this one.
The count starts. Volari with the count. Up to 2 already. Ethan Page must get back in the ring by the count of 10, or it would be the most anticlimactic finish to a main event we've had here on Rogers TV.
And as much talking as Ethan Page has been doing here, this is kind of getting ridiculous from the fans. Let the man wrestle. And frankly, show him some respect.
So Josh Alexander pushes Page into the corner, but a clean break. Headlock by Alexander, wrenching it down. Oh, down goes Page. Full impact off the ropes.
Yes.
Up comes Page, wrenches the arm. Over goes the arm again and down. That wrist lock, full pressure from the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. Page rolls through, tries to kip up. Not working for him. 0 for 3. And up he goes and into a forearm shiver.
And a tough one there as he shows some great athleticism, popping up on his 2 feet and right back down.
It's a wrestling match. Oh, little Andy, you almost swore. No. I know this children present. Hey, I'm 18, don't worry. Get your ass in here. You just swore. Yeah, I'm allowed to say ass. I asked the promoter.
So I think the pleasantries are over and these two are set to go. Lock up once again. Page comes out on the upper hand with a headlock. Into the ropes goes Page. Off shoulder block down goes Alexander, and a kip up on the first try. And a shoulder tackle of his own. Down goes Page.
And finally, these fans here in Guelph showing some appreciation of what these wrestlers put their bodies through. They're getting quite annoying for my liking, telling them to get wrestling. It's a process, Sean.
Exactly, Dan. I mean, you pay your money, you can say what you want, but at the expense of the matches themselves, we've seen that throughout the course of the evening. And a huge uppercut as Alexander sees 3 of the 4 corners so far, a forearm in one, a head into the turnbuckle in the other, and an uppercut in the third. Punch to the forehead of Page, and down goes Page, catching a breather on the second rope. A stomp to the back of the knees.
Page is going to be slow to get up. Looks like he took a hard shot to the knee and another to his left this time.
Page really feeling it on that left knee. Page breaks 3. Shot to the midsection, shot to the face. Another forearm to the side and a chop from Alexander. Picks him up, looking for a German suplex. Nope, fights out of it as Page standing, switch behind, into the ropes, back. Oh, down goes Alexander and a huge jumping stomp from Page.
A great sequence there from Page. You saw him trip up Alexander and then the curb stomp right on his chest.
Knee to the back and now a chin lock. Oh, not a chin lock. He's got the fingers in the mouth. We're tearing it apart.
That's old school fish hooking right there.
In Guelph, they call that the Royal City fish hook here at the Red Chevron Club.
That's almost as dirty as these folks right here.
Bionic elbow to the forehead from Page as Alexander goes down. Punch to the midsection. Page taking control and a huge shot to the left side of Alexander's face. Down goes Alexander to one knee. Up he goes. Snapmare over, off the ropes is Page, and a kick to the chest.
That was a modified drop kick off that second rope. Might be have a pin here.
Goes for the pin.
No fall.
Only 2, Dan.
Just 2. And we'll take another glance at that. Face full of feet there from Ethan Page. Alexander wondering where he's at right now. Unfortunately for him, he's in Guelph.
Into the corner, a switch. 4 forearms, that's 5 forearms repeated to the face of Page. How can Page handle this onslaught? Page might be out cold as he's down in the corner.
He just might be.
Great work by our camera crew right in there showing how stunned Page is after those shots. Into the turnbuckles goes Page. We're going corner to corner. Over goes Page. Up. Alexander avoids it, but up. Page has him in a fall away slam to the back, and he rolls right out of the ring into the front row.
Oh, and Alexander's totally dazed right now. As he took that throw and extended it right into almost the first row of seats.
Alexander is in trouble out there. He went down hard.
And finally, these two kind of picking up the pace after a very slow start.
Stomp to the hand from Page. Alexander trying to shake it off outside the ring. Grabs the headgear right in front of our broadcast position. Huge shot to the head. You can see him right in front of our broadcast position right over here is Page and Alexander fighting into the crowd. Unbelievable. Page taking a breather. You know, eventually these guys are going to have to get back into the ring as Alexander breaks it with an uppercut, another European uppercut.
I'm just about to say that countdown is not going to last much longer. Oh my God, did he break his knuckles there?
Goes for the chop. Page ducks and a chop into the ring post. That may be a broken hand for Alexander.
Oh, absolutely painful.
Page trying to capitalize on this. It's the right hand that's in trouble. Oh, stomping right on the right hand. Could have multiple broken bones in that hand.
And here's another look. The hand off the pole as he went for that massive backhand. Oh my goodness. That's a load of pain right there.
That could be broken fingers. The PWA medical staff waiting backstage.
Hey, did Guillermo ever get back with that stat, by the way?
Guillermo never got back to us on that stat. I think he's
he might be able to get the medical staff,
I think Guillermo disappeared to the bar here at the Red Chevron Club. Might have actually been heckling Tracy Smothers in that last match.
I don't think he was the only one.
Huge slap to the head, and Alexander, that's about 15 feet to the ground. If he falls off of there, up to the second rope goes Page. What are we going to see here? He cinches it in. Alexander trying to fight off of it. Fights off. Oh, another shot right to the face. we got here?
Airtime.
Unbelievable! Up and over goes Page. Unbelievable. Alexander absolutely in control. Now goes for the pin. 1, 2, only 2.
Oh my goodness. As we saw some big hops there off the top rope. Alexander off the shoulders and bringing down Page right behind him. A nice reversal there for the man in red.
Modified head scissors from behind as he flips Page. Now Alexander working on the fingers and elbow of Page. As you see Page trying to keep that arm locked, trying not to give Alexander control. But Alexander does get control, kicks to the head from Page. Another kick. Alexander spins him over and a forearm to the face. Down goes Page.
Oh, we thought he was out before. He's got to be now.
1, only 2, and you can still see, Dan, after that shot to the face from Alexander, he's still shaking that hand off from the stomp as well as the chop onto the steel post before.
You can see the frustration written all over his face. Seems to be okay, and now we're looking to return the favor, stomping on the left hand of Page.
It's a
As we'll see that big slam of the fist to the face of Page. As they go shot for shot now in the middle of the ring.
big shot from Page. The boot from Alexander off the rope.
And look at these two warriors at it.
Up goes Page, up for the slam and down with a classic body slam off the ropes. Up and a knee to the forehead. That could be concussion city, but only a count of 2.
And Alexander in those red tights looking for a red wedding celebration. Didn't happen there.
Ethan Page looking for a victory after a decade away from the PWA. And Josh Alexander looking to cement his hold as the #1 contender to the Pure Wrestling Championship. Who will come out on the top of this match? Stick around and watch. We have great action here. It is continuing right now. Josh Alexander with the headlock, but Page fighting out with elbows to the midsection. Off the ropes comes Alexander. Duck under from Page. Page another duck under off the top. Double clothesline, the impact.
And these two guys giving it their all at the moment, but both maybe down for the count. And here's another look as both of them going projectile on each other.
Joey Villari with the count already up to 4. This could very well end in a double count out after that double clothesline.
But you know what? Sometimes it's a bit of disappointment, but quite frankly, maybe it's what these Guelph fans deserve after all the jeering they've given these two outstanding athletes.
And these two guys are complete competitors. They want to show each other what they can do in the ring. Forearm to the face. Punch to the head. Another. These two just exchanging blow for blow here in the middle of the ring at the Red Chevron Club. Hot PWA action here. Who will come out on top in this match? Looks like Page is taking the advantage on the blow for blow here. There's 3 in a row from Page.
We talked about
but a headbutt.
We talked about one potential #1 contender in the midst. We might have 2 very well, and they've both proven that.
Big elbow off the rope goes Page. Off the ropes again. The impact of these two together is unbelievable. Up in a fireman's carry and a roll through. Unbelievable. Down 1, 2. That could be it. Only 2.
Just
only
barely.
2.
How did he kick out? That's exactly what Alexander wants to know. We're going to get that answer with this replay right here. The fireman's carry right into that slam. A great combination there from Alexander.
He's up again in the carry. Is he going for the same thing again? Nope. Elbows from Page. Into the corner. Elbow to the face. These two just battling for position, battling for momentum. Corner to corner here. Page into the corner. Alexander comes in, but up and over. Catches himself. avoids Page and a boot to the face. What do we have here?
Showtime.
Prone position for Page and a huge knee from Alexander. Down goes Page. Looks like Alexander might be going airborne. He's up and over onto the second rope. A knee to the back of the head. Page may be out cold. This is it. 1, 2. Oh, only 2.
It was like dropping an anvil on Page, and he still kicks out. Unbelievable. And we're not kidding you, Alexander. This match goes on. There is the knee to the back of the skull of Ethan Page.
Alexander getting his opportunities, but Page showing the wrestling pedigree he's got. Able to fight through all of this. He's still standing here when lesser men would have been put away long ago. Oh, this is the double underhook. He's looking for the J Driller.
And hard into that turnbuckle.
And that's where being a tag team partner comes to Ethan Page's advantage. One of Alexander's moves, a boot to the face. What do we have here? Off the top rope, up and over. Alexander is down. 1, 2, only 2. One of Alexander's finishing moves is that J Driller, that double underhook pile driver, which he was going for, but Page obviously knows it's coming.
Exactly right, and here we have another look. Going over the shoulders. Page whipping Alexander over. And another 2 count. We talked about a record number of 2 counts. We might be seeing it here in this match instead.
How long before everyone tells you how annoying you are?
And that's about right for Ethan Page to finally tell that fan, put him in his place.
What's he going for here? Chop. Alexander fights out on the apron. These two fighting on the apron. Oh, clothesline into the ring. Unbelievable.
But Alexander throws him aside like a used-up Kleenex.
Going for a neck breaker, but he fights out in a rolling knee. Here it is, looking for the J Driller double underhook. But no, Page scouts it once again with a backdrop.
He knew it was coming again.
These chops are echoing through the Royal City as Alexander into the corner. Another forearm to the face from Page.
How much more damage can each of these guys take?
Corner to corner, they're looking for once again. Into the corner goes Alexander. A huge kick to the face from Page.
That could be
Alexander might be out cold. 1, 2, this is it, Dan.
Oh my goodness.
These fans are getting their money worth here tonight.
Absolutely they are. And there's another look right in the chops. Alexander taking a mouthful of heel. Kicking out though, and these fans are in disbelief.
The fans are chanting only 2. It was only 2.
It was only 2. I think Alexander's looking if he still has all his teeth.
Yeah, he might have lost a tooth on that, the way he's feeling around in there.
He still has more than most of this Guelph crowd though, Sean.
Dan, come on now. What's got into you tonight?
The lack of respect shown to these 2 outstanding athletes in the ring, it's unbearable.
Oh, here it is, the spin. Oh, he was looking for the ripcord elbow, but up, and that's the spinning Dwayne. A boot to the face. Super kick to the face from Page.
Going for the hat trick here? No.
Stunned on the top rope is Page. What's Alexander looking for? What do we have here? Unreal. Down goes Page. That's got to be it. Kicks out. What a match we've got here.
The creativity right there. You've got to love it. And here's one more look. It's well worth it. Getting him in position. Alexander dropping Page right on his shoulders. His entire weight, and he still kicks out.
So these guys are giving it their all here at the Red Chevron Club to show who can come out on top in our showcase main event.
And I bet you right about now, Mr. Eddie Osborne has his gaze coming from right around that curtain.
I guarantee you he's watching this map. There it is. That's the ripcord elbow. 1, 2.
Only two.
I thought that was it. I thought that was it.
And that was oh so close. There's that ripcord elbow. Oh my goodness. How many more shots of the skull can these two take?
It was about 80% elbow and about 20% ripcord.
That's a lot of ripcord.
Will he be looking for it again? There it is. That's the full ripcord elbow with the spin. Doesn't get it. Another super kick to the face. And a neck breaker out of nowhere. 1, 2. Oh, just two. Just two.
A shot to the temple, and then the neck breaker. He nearly ripped his whole head off.
And that definitely came out of nowhere.
Oh, here it is again. There we see right down onto the mat. Face first again. I think he's become more familiar with the mat than his opponent at this point. This marathon match continues. Do they have anything left in the tank, Sean?
I don't know. These two are wiped, sitting there on their knees in the middle of the ring in the Red Chevron Club. How much is left in the tank for Ethan Page and Josh Alexander?
Looks like Page might be getting the upper hand here.
Off comes the headgear. And this is when Alexander's getting serious. Another uppercut. Off the ropes, goes for a super kick, misses, but a kick into the midsection. Doubled over is Alexander.
Oh, and a shot right to the face.
Shot from behind, goes for the clothesline, misses. Another clothesline miss. Off the ropes back, elbow to the back of the head. Here it is, double underhook. Is he going for the J driver? Third time is a charm, no. Page goes for the kick, misses. Another punch to the face. And a kick to the back of the head from Page. Into the ropes, up and over. Goes for another neck breaker, off. There's the elbow. From behind. Ripcord elbow, that's it. It's over.
Gotta be now,
One.
gotta be.
There it is. The end of the match. Josh Alexander comes out on top in an epic confrontation with his tag team partner, Ethan Page. What amazing action here on Rogers TV.
And it's about time you got on your feet, Guelph. Show your appreciation for these two combatants. You got top dollars worth right here. As Alexander will be up on his feet in a moment and celebrating this one. Full marks to him, as there you see the finisher on Ethan Page. The ripcord elbow, as they dub it. And it wasn't 85% that time. That's a full 100% ripcord. And Eddie Osborne, you better watch out.
There you go. And Josh Alexander kind of cementing his position as the de facto #1 contender for the Pure Wrestling Championship here. And as we go on through the summer months, you have to think he's in line for a title shot with Eddie Osborne.
Maybe some extracurriculars here. You know what? The mutual respect for these two between each other. We told you before, we're sure they're going to be cracking a cold one after this one.
Josh Alexander celebrates in the ring as the victor. The crowd here in Guelph showing their appreciation as Ethan Page makes his way to the back. There you have it. An amazing showcase main event. Josh Alexander with the victory and a great night of action on PWA on Rogers TV. For Jason Hagholm, for my good friend and partner Dan Polishchuk, and everybody on the crew here, thanks for watching the PWA on Rogers TV. I'm Sean Farfara. We'll see you back here next time.